Welcome to today's Crosspoint Devotion. I hope you're having a great week, and today I want to talk to you about how God uses every single experience in our lives to prepare us for what He has in the future. Sometimes I think we downplay or we don't give enough credence to these simple, small events that occur in our lives, and we kind of say, God, what are you doing here? I don't understand why I'm having to waste time on this or that, because they just seem so insignificant and they don't seem like they're leading me anywhere toward the great things that I've always heard you want to do with me. And I think that's where we need to come to a man like David, because before he went into the valley to fight Goliath, he was having a conversation with King Saul. And as he talked to King Saul about the possibility of going into the valley to fight Goliath, he told something to Saul that's very important that sometimes we overlook. As he's conversing with Saul, this is what he said. David answered Saul, "Your servant has been tending his father's sheep. Whenever a lion or a bear came and carried off a lamb from the flock, I went after it, struck it down, and rescued the lamb from its mouth. If it reared up against me, I would grab it by its fur, strike it down, and kill it. Your servant has killed lions and bears. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, for he has defied the armies of the living God." Then David said, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." I love how David reminds us that there's no event that we're going through in our life. There's no circumstance that we've endured. There's no experience that we've had that God can't use and redeem to get us ready for what is ahead in the future. When David was out there on the backside of nowhere watching over his father's sheep, I'm sure there were many days when he was thinking to himself, my older brothers are having the time of their life. They're over there with King Saul at the battle lines, enjoying being a part of the great military of Israel. All I'm doing is spending time on the backside of nowhere watching over a bunch of dirty, smelly sheep. God, what are you doing here? But yet in those experiences, as David was watching over the sheep and being faithful to care for them and leading them from pasture to pasture and sometimes leading them to still water, he would experience some things that were preparing him for that day when he would go into the valley to fight Goliath. When the bear and the lion came and began to attack his flock, he was able to depend on God, trust Him enough to defeat both the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear, and he learned about how trusting God can give great victory. And that prepared him for the day when he walked into the valley and he saw this 9-foot 9-inch person standing across from him in the valley who was defying the armies of the living God. And that gave David great confidence to face Goliath and say to him, "You're not going to win this battle because I'm trusting God." Where did he learn that trust? On the backside of a desert, in the middle of nowhere, tending the sheep. Maybe God has you right now on the backside of the desert, in a pasture, tending sheep. You don't like it. You're not enjoying it. It's not fun. It's not glamorous. But can I encourage you to know that those moments where you're there and you're learning these simple life lessons of trusting God, living by faith, seeing the victorious hand of God in the small ways, all of those are going to be used by God to get you ready for whatever it is He's going to use you to do in His great kingdom. You've put your faith in Jesus. Now He's teaching you and testing you and preparing you so you can do amazing things that will exalt His name and make sure His Son gets known in all the earth. So don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't get frustrated. Just trust God in the process. Well, I hope that'll encourage you today, and we hope you'll come back and join us for the next Crosspoint Devotion.